Hi there, it's Jennifer on our Facebook Live, but we're going to change it up today. We're just going to change it up today, my friends. Today, because of what happened recently in New Zealand, we're actually going to do a collective activation with all of you from all over the world. Who's joining me in this activation will be, of course, all of our friends. If you have people that are feeling powerless or really disturbed or feisty or whatever it is from that particular event, I really invite you to get them over to this page right now. And most certainly, if you're wanting to activate something new for humanity and build bridges to a different reality, to the one that we've already launched, I truly recommend that please share this. Today's Facebook Live is not about getting out of your own way. It's actually going to be, we will do that on Monday, Eastern Standard Time at 5:55 and not today. We're actually, if you're agreed to it, going to collectively activate humanity's heart as catalyzed by what happened in New Zealand for the next 5 to 10 minutes. And it's with the intent that it will move all over the world. So the next thing I want to say, with your permission, is that I have asked a cosmic, beautiful mistake on purpose happened, whereby our 5:55 today happened to coincide with a meeting of something we call Wings. Wings is a program where people who have done everything, they just are real geniuses and leaders. They go out into the world and they learn and they build bridges, and they have the most sensitive, fantastic hearts, and they knew that a sense of urgency was calling them forward. And so it's a collective of people that I and they, we all work together to activate each other and to bring each other up and to collectively affect the world in a beautiful, positive way. And these people are very near and dear to me. We meet once a month, and once a year we meet somewhere in the world. And the power of this collective is so big that I wanted to introduce you to them, because they are going to be helping in this gorgeous activation that we're going to do for humanity's heart. So welcome, and if you're here on purpose. Again, I'm going to say that tomorrow, Monday at 5:55 Eastern, is when we're going to do the last Facebook Live. And the last Facebook Live, all about getting out of your own way to going direct with consciousness. Today, we're going to do a global activation for not to heal the heart of humanity. It doesn't need healing, but to activate the reality of the truth of who we are, such that it so powerfully overrides those that have forgotten, that it calls them forward to become who they knew they were destined to become, but haven't become yet. It has to become so radiant and unavoidable, but that we all must go. And so that's what we're going to do together as a collective after using the catalyst as New Zealand. But at first I want to introduce you to some beautiful human beings. Everybody wave. These are my friends from all over the world. Beautiful beings who are up for making powerful change. So, my dears, are you ready to do an activation to shift consciousness together? So let's just begin in this place. So yes, let's acknowledge what happened. What happened in a place of great beauty, on the other side of the world for most of us, on the other side of the hemisphere for many of us. An act of tremendous violence happened towards a specific group of people because they're different, perceptively. what's odd and beautiful is we were never born to be the same. We were never born to be like each other. In fact, most of the pain in the world is caused because we try to get others to be like us, or we ourselves are trying to fit in with others. When we were born to be a piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth, unique to our own personality, unique to our history in this lifetime and every other lifetime, unique to the beautiful piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth that consciousness saw us to be before we got here, such that we could build bridges for all of humanity. We were designed to be different. We were designed to actually embody exactly that which our life so far has catalyzed us towards. The beauty of what's possible for humanity as catalyzed by some of the most difficult things that we've been through. And as we start to embody the awakening of the deeper truth, that all of those things that have happened to us that are painful actually can be transmuted. They can be changed by both physical action and by changing the way we perceive others' life and what happened to us. And that by healing, by building a healing bridge, others can tap into those healing bridges because they become available in all of consciousness every time you love another, every time you love yourself, every time you allow yourself to fall in love with something new, every time you allow yourself to realize that the variety on this planet, the variety of cultures, of religions, of heights, of sexual orientations, that the variety actually is what causes it to be interesting. And what causes it to life starts to catalyze us to new ideas and open up new possibilities. That in fact, that is the spice, that is the beauty, that is the gorgeousness. And that all of these differences that have been born recently to our sexual orientations, our religion, and the visibility of each of those things through media, and our ability to see all those things is bringing up the deepest disconnection we have all had from our source, from unconditional love. It's bringing up our fear that we can't be with all of it, that it's not okay, when in fact creation created all of it. And so welcome it. Stay curious on the adventure. I'd love to hear from other people. Since we're doing an activation on Facebook, you can absolutely write in what you'd like to activate. And I want to say that if you're an activation does not include any polarity. So if you're not coming from pure love for humanity, for what's possible, if you come from a place of polarity, it's okay. If you're really angry, it's okay. And the place that you want to get is using that as a catalyst for what there is to do to activate what is desired. So I'd love to open it up to our Wings family and to everybody out there in the world. What future would you like to activate for humanity? What would you like to say? What would you like to bring up? What words do you have, or what non-words, what galactic language, whatever it is, would you like to bring up that would add to our current activation? Jeannie. Amanda, yes, Glenda, go ahead.
I'm just feeling, if I could share some of the light language that I'm feeling really wants to come through to help activate the love in all of us even more.
Go ahead.
Osh de cinema ache che se cene in mene e chole che se na a casa cice se ne un mene e pepala e che passone mi che se ne ana ne chosone mi ma asa e cele ne mene mo o ka pasana a ka chatsidine unimi che se cele di passano unimi ma a ka papet pochini ma ale ki papone fanana a ka chasani ini e che se chita ani ini me o papala a cha ka se ne ini e che sone mi ma a cha sa ka chasene Fanone me ma ule bebe se che cook beba achini in mo mama actually exani ichile beba bebe one me ma akel ke chu baba bebe one me ma mama ko papa chane ne bebe se ke mama ko papa ichi se su mama ach ko bebe papa none me challenge se no chine se ni china a hase chu se chu baba chike ma one me papa ala ke pe Shosi chu ko sa anime mama a ka choni me le pe sakuni mama a che se ni mo foni me mama a papa.
Everybody breathe. So again, if you're just joining us, that was just beautiful Glenda from Canada who was speaking light language that was inspired by building bridges for humanity after what happened in New Zealand. What we want to look at is what's possible. We want to see to the other side of the bridge. What is it that's awakening? For me, what's awakening, and thank you, Glenda. Everybody breathe through that beautiful activation. For me, what's awakening is the threshold at which we become uncomfortable has to become a lot lower, such that we start building bridges of love long before we fall out of love with our own life or with others, and we find new ways much more quickly. As people would not feel so disenfranchised as each of us weren't so disenfranchised from our own selves. So who else would like to add? Amanda, what's there for you? Amanda, who we showed you earlier, if you're willing to speak, and if not, I understand. So Amanda's in Australia. Can you unmute yourself, or if you just shake your head if it's a no? So Amanda,
yeah, no, yeah.
So what are you feeling as you have so many friends in New Zealand and you're from Australia, and so many of us have connections from the other side of the world? How are you feeling?
There's a really deep sadness. It's very much coming from a place of just knowing the highest possibility for all of us. So the sadness is at seeing the disconnect, but knowing that we're all being called up higher, to wake up, to take our power back. Mm-hmm. So I think that underneath it all, it's just a very deep love for humanity.
And what is New Zealand for? How would you characterize that place? I think that speaks to that sort of loss of innocence.
It's such a place of natural beauty. It's just magical is the word that comes to me.
So the contrast is pretty huge between the beauty and what happened.
Yeah, there's just a lot of peace. It feels very peaceful. Yeah. I mean, yes, there's stuff that goes on. There's stuff that goes on everywhere in the world, of course. But
yes.
The overall sense when you're there is just peace and love.
Mm-hmm.
So this is quite a shock in that respect, I guess. So.
And so, as you're speaking, I keep getting this word innocence. There's an innocence and a harmony of that beautiful island. You don't hear too many things happening, and that's something so...
I mean, it's a small population, I guess, compared to a lot of other countries in the world.
Sure.
It's quite remote, I guess, away from a lot of other places too. So probably that sense of innocence comes a little bit from that too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So even from a place, look at where we think. Is this an act of evil, or is it an act of someone that is disenfranchised because they forgot who they were so deeply that they feel another needs to change in order for them to be happy? At the root, it truly is about the idea that another needs to change. And thank you, Amanda. Thank you for having the energy of that side of the world at heart, and also Susan for that, who's spent time with the Maori in New Zealand. So is evil simply the forgetting of the truth that we actually are the love? And when we can't access the love, there is a great deal of frustration. And the next step is to try to get one's power back through heinous acts. For me, again, it's activating the remembering of the heart of humanity, because if all felt included, if all somehow felt seen and heard, it would be a different world. So anyone else want to add? Everyone's voice matters. Sabina, go ahead, and then Tanya.
I would like to activate our essence in us. I mean, it's the 5-pointed star, the pentagram, that resides in the middle of our heart chakra.
So
and we can just
let's
tune
put our
into
our hands there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we just tune into that essence of ours, the 5-pointed star, and let it radiate out from the middle of our heart chakra into first our body, the outstretched arms and legs and head, and from there out into the world.
Everybody breathe. Thank you, Sabina.
Thank you.
Thank you, my darling. All right. And Tanya. And I just want everyone who joined us late to know that we're doing an activation instead of our Facebook Live that we were meant to do. We will do that again tomorrow. We will pick it up where we left off. Today we're doing an activation of humanity in response to some of the outcomes from New Zealand and what's happened, such that we're activating a new reality. And I'm being joined by this beautiful group of journeyers who are from all over the world, all having graduated our flight school program, but leaders in their own right. So one of them, Tanya, just put up her hand to share something as well. And I invite you all out there to be a part of this activation. Write in what you see for humanity. See if you can activate in your writing what you envision without including the polarity. See if you can do that. And voice whatever it is that you need to voice. It will all be received with love. So to that end, Tanya, what would you like to share?
I'd like to sort of continue with where Sabina was. And we've got that beautiful 5-pointed star. And it's like, for me, is that experience of right in the very center is this beautiful flower. It's the bosom of our heart. And from here, it's this, each one of us, this phenomenal, exquisite beauty that we are. And when we really sink down into that place, this awesome essence, this unbounded love, and it's like that this is the love that we are. It's also the love of the entire universe. And from this, it's like, I have problems finding the words, but it's this activation of deep remembering of this exquisite, beautiful essence that we are, each one of us, that we are. It's not about all the things that are happening in the world, but this place here, to sink in and feel that love and feel it radiating to every cell of your body, awakening each cell into the remembering.
Everybody breathe. That we are the love. Yeah. I want to share with everyone so far, the people that are speaking, I happen to know them very well, having spent almost a year with most of them. And the bridges they have built to remembering their own selves are contained in their words, just like the words that you'll be writing in the comments below. It really is about activating a different world and speaking it out loud, whether it's in writing. And given what Tanya has been through, her saying that is just, I would say it's a powerful bridge to a new possibility for humanity, given that she knows exactly the kinds of things that go on in someone's mind that would perform the acts that happened recently. So I'm just very grateful, Tanya. So anyone else care to share? Susan. Susan is an author, and Tanya does workshops and helps people heal their heart. Sabina sees incredible things about our galactic ancestry. So each of these people holds a very specific part. Amanda is an incredible creative spirit. Glenda is a physiotherapist turned channel and healer of the heart of humanity as well. So Susan is the one who's been to New Zealand and been with the Maori. So Susan, what would you like to share?
I just wanted to make an observation that the people in this group, we live in kind of a love bubble where we surround ourselves and each other with an understanding of love. Mm-hmm. We, as much as possible, come from a loving place. Our language is full of love. We radiate that love out as much as we can to other people. And this event in New Zealand has been a really important reminder to me, certainly, that a lot of the world doesn't live that way. And that it's just kind of a really great reminder to all of us, I guess, that there's always more love to emanate. And there are people out there who are really hurting. And the more we can express the loving aspects of who we are, the more we can build those bridges that will hopefully someday make an event like what happened in New Zealand just not a possibility anymore.
I love what you said, Susan. Really just hear that, everyone. That there is always more love we can emanate. That to sit on our very comfy little butts is one thing, but to continue the journey of just becoming the kind of, I remember being in Thailand once, and it called me to, it was so clear that I said to the tour guide, I'm sure Jeannie remembers this, I said to him, "You make me want to be a better person." And he does. And so there are many people that make me want to be a better person. And as we become better people, we have more compassion, we include more, we act more kindly. So thank you for that reminder, Susan. Is anyone else? So again, for those of us just joined us, we're having a conversation about what happened in New Zealand and speaking activations into existence about the future for humanity and what there is to say as a result. So perhaps one more person, and I'm here with my beautiful friends from the Wings program. And I agree, Birgit. She said compassion to oneself first and then to others. But there is such a degree of heartbreak for the families of, the people who were attending really celebrations of God, and that it's really shocking. And then on the other side, the hearts breaking of the people of New Zealand, whether they were Muslim or not, just to have that happen in your backyard, and our hearts go out completely. But more importantly, we light up the truth of the harmony that we're designed for, such that we activate the direction we're going as much as we have compassion for what's actually happened. So does anyone else want to speak anything into the space? Manisha.
I just wanted to share that based on what I'm recently relearning is just that, it's our vulnerability which really links us together in this place of humanness. And so, and as scary as that is, like, it's also okay. And there is a willingness with compassion to ask for help, like to use our voice and just ask for help, but really celebrating what links us.
Yes.
In our humanity. Yeah.
Indeed. And that's spoken from someone who was born in India, I think, right, Manisha? Yeah. So there are people from all over the world. What's really fascinating is that the last comment on Facebook was from one of my clients from New Zealand named Sonia, who many of you have met. So, yeah. So this is for you and all your neighbors, Sonia. So, everybody breathe. Find that place where we're all connected. Take your consciousness through your third eye, back through your pineal gland, and connect to everyone around the world, which is the vast majority that know that we're being catalyzed to a different reality, that we're evolving into more harmony, but sometimes the tree is shaken to make sure we're not asleep in some of the most shocking ways. Just smile at your neighbor in the physics of all that is, in the place where in the field where we all meet, as Rumi would say. Smile to your neighbor. We're all in this together. We're being catalyzed to a different place. Find that place of peace and understanding. And do the world a favor as we fly forward. Allow your heart to be catalyzed to take action in a different way, to speak up, to not just think about those acts of kindness, to let other people inspire you to do a little bit more, to include. And so if everyone breathes, I'll put in front of you our beautiful friends from Wings, and know, everyone, that tomorrow will be our day 3 of Facebook Live at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll be talking about perfectionism. But today felt like it was important to talk about something else and activate the heart of humanity and build bridges to what's possible given the recent events in the world. And so thank you. And I just want to thank my beautiful team of amazing friends over here from Wings. And all of you from all around the world, big, big, big hugs. Please pass this on to anyone you know whose heart might be hurting or who wants to find hope or wants to be part of activating a different reality for humanity. Okay, love you guys.